Hello, my name is Kirioth, and today we are going to take a look at the faction focus for Makari. Just Makari, no one else. So for Psychic Awakening, Saga of the Beast, we now know what the luckiest grot in possibly all of history is going to be like. And it's honestly pretty funny, and I really like this. Let's have a look at Makari. So sometimes Gork, or possibly Mork, in fact almost certainly Mork, smiles down on a lowly Gretchen, and they are marked for greatness. Join us as we take a look at possibly the greatest grot of all, Makari. Now, I think that's probably a fair assessment. There he is, in all his glory. He's got his banner there. He's got his amazing hat. Fantastic hat. So, many orc war bosses employ a Gretchen to carry their banner into battle to better inspire the lads. The most famous of these grot standard bearers is Makari. He spent years following his boss and waving his banner on countless battlefields, somehow surviving against all odds. I like the fact they're not specifically naming his boss, even though we know who his boss is. So, then came the slanderous Yumi rumour that he'd been sat on and then fed to a squig, which was clearly just propaganda because they're paralysed with fear at the prospect of Makari running rampant. He's clearly still alive, which makes him massively old. In fact, actually, wait, there's a footnote there that I hadn't noticed. Hang on, let's go down quickly. Of course, that would mean Makari has lived longer than any Gretchen ever. It's entirely possible that his boss keeps volunteering new grots for the honour, but he doesn't have time to learn their names, so they're all Makari to him. I really like that because that seems to be the prevailing theory amongst most people, that actually it's just a different grot every time, and he just calls it the same thing, because why would you bother distinguishing your grots? So, one of the reasons that Makari has survived so long is because he's no ordinary Gretchen. Actually feeding it back into just being the one dude at this point. He's stronger, tougher, and has more wounds than the rest of his kin. Not only that, but he has an impressive weapon skill of 4+, meaning that he only misses with half of his attacks. Okay, so what's the other footnote? Sorry. That's pretty good for a grot. Not wrong. So, Makari. Movement of 5 inches, weapon skill 4, ballistic skill 4, strength 3, toughness 3, 4 wounds. What a beast. What an animal. Oh my god. 2 attacks, 6 leadership, and a 6+ save. 6+ save doesn't sound all that promising until you look slightly lower. He's also one incredibly lucky grot. Clearly, Mork or possibly Gork is looking out for him because he has a 2+ invulnerable save. So yeah, suspiciously lucky, Makari. Suspiciously so. Not just really quite solid for a grot, but has the literal blessing of the gods, apparently. God, it's so... I love it. I love it. Okay. Unlike the grot blasters carried by his Gretchen brethren, Makari carries his stabber, preferring to do his fighting up close and personal, as you can see from the Tempestus sign head on his base. I had noticed that before. You can't see it in the picture that's in this article, unfortunately, because it's behind a bit of metal or something, a bit of ruin. I had noticed the Tempestus Scion head on the base. I had not realised that it's because Makari had gutted him personally. I thought that was just a bit of random person that had probably been thrown that way by his boss. No, the idea that he murdered that Scion is great. So, Makari's stabber. So it's obviously melee. Strength, user, AP 0, damage 1. I know what you're thinking, not great. But abilities, when resolving an attack made with this weapon, a wound roll of 6+, inflicts D3 mortal wounds on the target, and the attack sequence ends. Because, of course, you were super likely. You're super likely to get 2 of those with his 2 attacks and his 4+ on his weapon skill. I love it. I just love it. I don't care. It's so unlikely. It is so unlikely. He's still, like, his strength is obviously not good. I mean, it's good for a grot, but not good in the grand scheme of things. Having 2 attacks does not leave him open to, land a flurry of blows on the opposition. It's so not something that is liable to happen regularly. That's why I like it so much. I like this kind of rule set. I know you can't do it for like every character. It has to be within context. It has to make sense with like everything else that's going on. But this is perfect. It's perfect. I love it. So, such bravery isn't a trait usually shown by Gretchen, so Makari proves to be an inspiration for the other Grots in the army. So friendly Goth Gretchen units can use this model's leadership instead of their own, whilst they're within 12 inches of this model. I mean, he's literally like a miniature shit character. Like, I know that sounds obvious. He's a character, because he is a character, that's the point. But he's got an aura effect, he's got invulnerable save, he's got a weapon that can deal mortal wounds. He's just like the grot version of every character available for like every faction. It's so good. It's so good. I love it. I'm already happy. Don't even release Gazgul, just do Makari. No, I'm joking. No, don't do that. Yeah, obviously do release Gazgul. I love it. It's so good. It's so daft. It's so orky. It's just 110% orc, and I don't know. It just brings me like, it just brings me back to like the orcs of old. For some reason, it just throws me into like a weird chunk of nostalgia when there wasn't models for a few things. You know, you just everything orc based was kit bashed. If you wanted to do a battle wagon, you took a land raider and a few other things and you slammed them together. If you wanted to do like half the vehicles in the codex, no one bought anything. You just kit bashed it. You'd kit bash a truck, you'd kit bash a battle wagon, you'd kit bash whatever the hell you felt like it. Being able to take looted tanks, all of that stuff. For some reason, this just takes me back to that time when I had a Speed Freaks army, and it was just a nonsense. It was in the best way, though, in the absolute best way. My silliest of games were always with orcs, and they were always massively enjoyable. This just makes me think of that. Absolutely love it. Super happy. I mean, what a legend. What an absolute legendary grot. 4 wounds. And the chance to deal mortal wounds. Oh, what a hero. So, there you go. That is that's the Makari focus. Faction focus on Makari. Maybe he can be his own faction. That'd be good. So yeah. Ludicrous. Silly. Well over the top and absolutely perfect. Just perfect. Let me know what you think of Makari in the comments down below. If you don't think he's great, then what the fuck is wrong with you? Yeah, let me know what you think. Feel free to click all the things. Patreon, video, subscribe, all that stuff. Click it if you like. Don't click it if you don't want to. And as always, there's an affiliate link in the description for Element Games where you can buy stuff and I get something for sending you that way. It's a great way to support the channel because you're going to buy that stuff anyway, and some of it goes to charity. You can do it if you like. I leave it entirely up to you. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.